So, a very good afternoon to everyone present here. Some say mathematics is like the king of all subjects, or well, we can say the queen of all subjects. And to understand it, one must have a very special talent. But is it really true? To truly understand mathematics, don't you just need a great teacher to guide you well? Well, today you brings to you an interactive virtual math lesson with our mentor Divykriti Madaan. We welcome you, ma'am, to our webinar. Speaking about our today's mentor, Divykriti Madaan works as Senior Curriculum Designer at Cuemath. She is a maths graduate from Hindu College, Delhi University. Having worked at three reputed EdTech companies, she has an expertise in designing curriculums, building high-quality assessments, and training teachers to remediate learning gaps. Her passion lies in helping students with understanding things properly. We welcome you with a very lovely heart, ma'am. This webinar has been possible with the support of Wacom, a brand that is a boon to EdTech world and has been supporting us immensely. Now, without any further ado, this virtual platform is all yours, ma'am. Please, you may start.
Thank you so much, Sarthak. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am, you are very much audible.
Okay. Thank you so much. As you said, you gave a really interesting intro to maths. Is it really the queen of subjects and you need a extra talent to learn it? I think it's more or less the way we see things around us, and it's the language of nature. It comes naturally to all of us. Humans are wired to learn math, and yeah, anybody, anytime, any day, at any age can learn maths. So yeah, I can take over now. Welcome everyone. I see 68 participants here. I hope this session will help you understand how you can overcome the challenges of teaching and learning maths online. I know the recent times have been really hard for, especially for teachers, to help their students understand maths as good as they were learning in the offline mode. And it is as difficult for the students as well to master their knowledge in the subject. So whatever your profession is right now, I just hope that this session will help you. Before we start, I would like to know what is your current profession, like if you are a student, teacher, or a math content developer, or any other, so that I have a touch with what your expectations from the session are. So, Sarthak, can I? Yeah. Okay. So, are you able to see the poll? Okay, great. Yeah. So we'll just wait for everyone to vote in. You'll be able to see the poll on your screen. Just enter whatever your current profession is. Okay. We have very few votes so far. Can just everyone quickly vote? Okay. Sarthak, should I publish the results?
Yeah, I have done it.
Okay, great. So we have, I think, people from all professions. That is great. And yeah, so I'll just quickly introduce myself and then I'll tell you what the session will contain. I'll give you an overview of the session first, and then we'll straight away jump into exploring some tools that will help you out in your session. Okay, so a few things about me. Sarthak already gave an intro. I am a mathematics graduate. I completed my BSc in mathematics from Hindu College, University of Delhi. During my graduation, I interned in the EdTech sector only with IIM Ahmedabad. I created manuals for underprivileged students in their campaign called Scholars for Change. And then I interned at 𝗪𝗏𝗄𝐿 as well. And then for a very long period of time, like for around 7-8 months in the last year of my college, I interned at 𝐕𝐢𝐫𝐿, where we created content for mathematics for grades 6 to 10th. After that, like after completing my graduation, I worked as an educational specialist at EI, which is an assessments company, and they have a very popular product called MindSpark and a test called ACID, which is conducted across schools. I don't know if some of you must have given that exam. After working as education specialist at EI for a year, I worked as a curriculum developer at Lead School, which is another organization which provides curriculum to affordable private schools. And right now I'm working as a senior curriculum designer at Cuemath, where I create content for higher grades, which is grade 9 to 12. So for India and for US. So that is my overall background. How I came into EdTech sector, I have always been passionate about teaching math specifically, courtesy my mother, who is a teacher herself, and she takes private coaching. And I have been teaching with her since I was in class 8. So yeah, I have been helping her out with her classes, and I have been teaching independently and giving private coaching to students since past 6 years now. So I am extremely maths is has a very special place in my heart, and it's very close to me. So yeah, that's all about me. Then okay, so now why am I here? Uh, I have been teaching myself to students in this lockdown, and I have myself faced a lot of difficulties in teaching because, first of all, it's not really easy to transition all of those things, that all of the benefits that you get from offline teaching to online. And having faced those challenges myself, I thought that this is a great platform to help others who have been facing the same challenges as me. Yeah, so this session is planned to, first of all, discuss with you guys what are the challenges of teaching math online and learning. I know most of you are students here, and even learning maths for students online is a big challenge. They are not able to ask questions real time. They are not able to show their working to the teacher. They're not able to get the validation that they need from the teachers in the real time. And I know it's very hard for the students as well. Then we'll discuss how to overcome these challenges in the online mode. We'll look at some of the tools which can be used to visualize math. And we will also create some interactive modules. And we will design activities for hands-on practice. So just to give you a heads up, whatever platform you're on, like if you're on a mobile or on laptop, you can do these activities with me side by side. Like I will let you know what are the steps you need to follow. So just be prepared for that if you want to indulge into the session. And then I will also talk about how students can take effective notes online. When you are online, it's very difficult to transition from online mode to offline mode and write in your notebook and then go back. So how that note making can be done effectively online. I'll also discuss that. And then along the process, I will also show you new ways of creating digitized assessments. Yeah. Okay. So first of all, what are the challenges of teaching maths virtually? Biggest challenge for me initially was typing complex math. It takes a lot of time if you don't have the right tools, especially for higher grades when you have very, very complex formulas, very, very complex equations. Typing all of that is a little difficult. Not only just typing math, but also drawing accurate images, drawing accurate figures, geometric figures, and all that you need for teaching maths. That is the basic difficulty that you see. The another basic difficulty is um, in the online mode, math more or less teaching maths more or less becomes like another YouTube video. So you just give a lecture and there is no feedback from the students. Neither students can give you feedbacks nor you can look into their work, and there is no visibility to students' work at all. Then it is difficult to engage with the students. So you don't know whether students are really paying attention to what you are teaching or not. So how do you tackle that? How do you ensure that students are attracted to your lesson? Students are taking part in your lesson and students are actually responding to what you are teaching. So this is another challenge. And then taking subjective assessment. So maths with only MCQ is something teachers don't really like. They want students to give step-by-step solutions, and they want students to give answers in full-fledged format. That is also a challenge in the online mode. We'll discuss how to overcome that. And then overall making the class interactive, right? So we will discuss how to overcome all of these challenges. If you have anything else that you want me to discuss, you can quickly text in the chat box or enter a question or whatever. I will try to incorporate in the session. Okay. Okay. So now that we have discussed some challenges, let's explore some tools to overcome these challenges, right? So first, very basic, what are the easy ways to type math? Okay, so why do you need to type math? Basically, you want to create your notes, you want to give out students handouts, you want to give out students assessments, or anything printable that you want to give. You want to type math in that case. And if you want to just show something, you want to type math. There can be a number of reasons why you want to, but it's not very easy, because when you want to type complex math equations, it involves coding, some level of coding, and it's not easy to get hold of that codes and type math in a very fluent way as you type normal text. So I will discuss that. There are basically three ways you can do it. First is very basic. You can ink equations in Microsoft Office. It's available in all of their softwares. I'll just show you. Give you a quick demo on PowerPoint itself. So let us type something in that. Okay. I'll first show you the normal way of without inking, how you can do it. So there is an option to insert, and then you go to symbols, and then there is an option of equations. So you will get text written like this, type equation here, and anything you type will come in the math text format. So if, let's say, if you want to type fractions, you can just do backslash and get your fraction. Yeah. I just increase the size for you to look. if you want to, so a shortcut for typing equations is you press Alt equal to on the keyboard and you will get it like without going here, here and here. It's up to you. I'm just pressing Alt equal to. And then if you want to type, let's say something 45 degree. So there are some codes involved. If you want to write square root, so you have to write SQRT and then 2, then it will give you square root. So all of these, this is fairly basic. If you want to type some complex like integral, derivatives, summation, all of these symbols, if you want, it's highly complex. You have to remember all of the codes. So what is the solution? So the solution is that you can actually ink equations in Microsoft, like all of the Microsoft softwares. So you go to insert equation and there is an option of inking. So you can actually write like with your pen, you can actually write the equations here. So the tool that I'm using to ink equations is the Wacom tablet. It's a pen tablet which you can attach with your laptop, and it comes with a pen and you can easily write anything here. So for example, I'm just typing integral x, let's write integral 0 to pi sine x dx. So at times it doesn't recognize it, but most of the time it does. I'll try and write it. So I use this a lot. It's like one of the most used tools in EdTech. Okay, it's not recognizing pi. Let's try this. Let's try something else. Go to insert equation. So you get all of these very easily on all the Microsoft softwares. You can get it in Word as well. So this is one way. Another way of typing maths or just getting the math in a typed format is LaTeX. So LaTeX is a universal language that is used for typing math in all of the softwares. Even Microsoft uses LaTeX. So all of the codes that I was typing were LaTeX codes only. So if you don't know LaTeX code, so this is a very cool tool to use to write maths. I just open this website. I have it open. Yeah, so it's webdemo.myscript.com. So MyScript provides you a way of inking math equations, and it will give you the image of that, and it will also give you the LaTeX code. I'll tell you how to use the LaTeX code, but let me show you how this works. So I can type anything like therefore triangle ABC. So I'm using again the Wacom pen tablet to write all of this out. Is congruent to triangle TEF. Let's say I want this. Yeah, so you click on convert, it will give you an image. You can either copy this image and paste it in your doc, or if the software that you are using or whatever you are using uses this, is friendly with LaTeX, or is takes LaTeX as an input, then you can copy this LaTeX code and enter there. I'll show you another way of using this. So it not only gives you LaTeX, but it gives you Math ML code also, and it gives you the math text as well. So you can copy this also. So you can just try it out, what works best for you. But I'll show you what I use, like how I use this. One way we saw was inking the equations on PowerPoint and Word. Another is using Google Docs. So in Google Docs, you have extensions, add-ons. So I have added this auto LaTeX equations add-on on Google Doc. You can easily do that. Just Google auto LaTeX equation and it will give you an add-on for your Google Doc. What you have to do is you just write um like the conclusion here, something, and you want the equation here, let's say. So I just go copy this. This is the LaTeX code, embed it, paste this code here. Okay. Now if I enclose this in double dollars and click on start, it will convert all of my equations into images. Yeah. So I can actually type out the whole document here. I have made assignments as well on Google Docs, and then you can also print it, like save it in PDF format and print it. So I'll just give you some more demo of how to do this. So let's say I want to say evaluate the and I just an integral that I want the students to evaluate. Okay. And let's copy this code. Want to check if the code is correct, just click on convert. So yeah, the code is perfectly fine. I'll paste the code here and enclose it in double dollars and render. So you don't need to render each and every equations, just complete all your whole document and then you click on render equations. It will give all of your math text in a typed format. So once you're done with your whatever assignment that you're creating, your notes or whatever, just click on render equations. It will render all of these equations and then you can send it to your students, save it as a PDF or do whatever you want. But your life will be fairly simple if you know the faster ways of typing math online. So this is one way you can type math. I'll just quickly go back to the chat box to see if there are any questions. You writing it with Wacom? Yes, I'm writing all of this with Wacom. It's my pen. And I don't have a mouse right now, so it works as a mouse as well. Okay, someone is saying, ma'am, you're not audible. Sarthak, am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible. I guess there was some problem on their network issue.
Okay, sure. Okay, I'm a recent graduate and thinking of tutoring junior school children. What device other than phones would you recommend for the best results? Other than phones, so are you talking about devices for your students or for yourself? I think for yourself, you should definitely use a laptop. Phone would not be that great to tutor students, to tutor junior students. Okay, so I'll move to the next segment of our session. if you have any questions regarding how you can type, then I'll tell you about that. I'm a middle school teacher. Okay, so all of these questions I will answer. If you have any question regarding how to type math, which is very basic, then you can post that question. Okay, I'll move to the next segment. Now coming to the tools to visualize math. I will be discussing a few tools. One of them is GeoGebra. The GeoGebra is, you Google and you will get to know it's like the best tool to visualize math till date. And it will be useful for anything that you need, whether for lower grades, higher grades, or graduation level or master's level, whatever level of math you are teaching. GeoGebra is the perfect platform for you to visualize math. I'll just give you a demo of how that works. Another great software that you can use, another great online tool that you can use is Polypad by 𝗪𝐵𝐺𝐵. I will show that as well. Polypad is mostly useful for lower grades, that is grade 8 and below, and sometimes for grade 9th and 10th as well, depending on your need. And yeah, so if you want a very colorful visual touch in your classroom, Polypad is something that you should have handy. I will also show you some construction tools. Construction is actual construction using scale and compass, which you cannot actually show with hands to the students, but there are online tools to construct. I will show you those as well. And then I will discuss how to create accurate images on PowerPoint. Okay, so all the images that I create for my math content are completely on PowerPoint, and I'll show you some tips and tricks on how to get accurate angles, accurate lengths, accurate everything that you need for an image, how to get that on PowerPoint. And I will also show you how you can create animations on PowerPoint if at all you are interested. I don't know how much of that is interest to you. Okay, so let's quickly go to GeoGebra and explore what I'm talking about. Okay. So you go to GeoGebra Classic. This is a graphing tool. It gives you a 2D graph, and it's not just limited to 2D graphs. You can have 3D as well. Exploring GeoGebra will take like 3-4 months, but it's a great tool to explore. So you get 3D graphics as well, and you get spreadsheets also. But for this session, I'll limit myself to 2D and 3D graphs. For now, I'll just close this one. Okay, so you can type out any function that you want. Let's say I type out x². Yeah, so I have this x² function. And let's say I want to see what happens if I add some number to this function. I can see that if I add something, the parabola moves up and down. So this k is a free moving variable that I've added. But I'm just giving you a demo of what this software looks like. It might be a little daunting that what am I doing, but I'll show you how it can be really useful for your classrooms. It has all the tools. You can create circles, angles. You can also reflect lines, reflect points, create polygons. And
Ma'am, sorry to disturb you, but you
yeah,
aren't sharing the screen at the moment.
I'm not. Oh,
You are not sharing the screen actually.
screen wasn't visible previously as well.
It was in the first segment. For this segment, you haven't shared it.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Sarthak. Okay, I'll start over. Is my screen visible now? Is my screen visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. So before that, I was just discussing tools to visualize math. I was showing this slide. I was talking about that I will show you GeoGebra and all other tools. So I will just quickly show you GeoGebra first. Okay. So how to access GeoGebra? You just write geogebra.org/classic. Okay. And this is the tool. This is the tool. It has a 2D graph. The default view is of a 2D graph, but you can also get 3D views as well. There are other tools also that, like, you have spreadsheets and you have probability calculator, you have construction protocol. All of these are there which you can explore. But for this session, I will limit myself to mostly 2D graphs and 3D to some extent. Okay. Okay, so how you can use GeoGebra? I'll start with showing you how you can type any function here. So let's say I'll type x squared. So I get the graph of x squared function, which is a parabola. Okay. Now let's say I want to know what is the solution of the equation y equal to x plus 2 with this graph. So I'll get 2 points. I can use the intersect tool. There is an intersect tool as well. Or I can just type out intersect f and g. It will show me 2 points, and these are the 2 solutions. So this is something for higher grades, but you can easily use this tool for lower grades as well. How? I will show that as well to you. For lower grades, let's say you want to show what happens if we increase the length and breadth of what happens if we increase the length and breadth of a rectangle. Okay. So let's say I create a rectangle with 4 points. I have just marked 4 points here, and I just join them with line segments. So now all of these points are actually movable. So if I move point A, and I can easily see what happens. And I can show this to the students as well. What am I doing? Or if you want them to see the difference between different types of polygons and what type of quadrilateral is this? Is this a trapezium or a parallelogram or whatever? So you can just, so the beauty of GeoGebra is everything can be controlled by variables, and you can actually create animations. All of this might be sounding very difficult, but I'll show you some real examples of how it's done. Okay. Before that, I'll just go to the session again, and I quickly want to ask you a question. How many of you have level of knowledge of grade 9 and above, math knowledge? If I see a lot of no's, then I won't be doing the next activity. But if you are comfortable with maths grade 9 and above, then I'll quickly show you an activity. Can you just type yes or no? Are you comfortable with maths of grade 9 and above? No. Okay. Others? Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Then, okay, then I think GeoGebra would be a bit tough for you for initially, but once you understand how it works, I think it really works wonders. I'll just show you an article that I created with animations that have been created on GeoGebra only, so that you have an idea of how things are made on GeoGebra. Yeah, yeah, 𝗪𝗏ci, I'll go with the basics. Okay, so you guys must be aware of solids, I think. So solids is cube, cuboid, and pyramids. Yeah, you have seen solids are all around us. We are surrounded by 3D shapes. So you must be aware of 3D shapes. So I'll show you something related to 3D shapes, and I think that might interest you. So here you see these are animations. I'm moving my mouse. And I'm able to rotate these 3D figures. All of this is created on GeoGebra itself. So you can show this to your younger grade students. You don't even need to create it. I'll tell you how you can use it in your classroom. So here I have a few animations. Let's say if I join 3 triangles, can I bend them to form a 3D shape? And this is an animation to show that. And then you have another simulation and you can move around this pyramid, like triangular pyramid. What happens if you join 4 triangles? Can you bend them to form a 3D shape? So all of these animations have been created on GeoGebra itself. But I understand that if you're not comfortable with this, then what you can do is a lot of teachers around the globe have created like activities already for students. So let's say you want to show faces of cube GeoGebra. So you just Google faces of cube GeoGebra activity and you will find all of these simulations online. So see, this has been created by some teacher named Kokila, and it's a simulation. You can show this in your class. You can click on vertices. It shows you vertices, edges, faces. Yeah. So you can do this in your classroom. Whatever activity that you need for your classroom, I think everything will be available. Just write GeoGebra along with it. Let me think of something else. Let's say you want to show angles made by parallel lines. You write GeoGebra simulation along with it, and it will give you GeoGebra activities. So I'm also doing it right now. I don't know if it's available, but see. Yeah. Okay. So what is this? Show corresponding angles. It is showing corresponding angles. Second pair, third pair, fourth pair. Show alternate interior angles. First pair, second pair. So all of these activities have been created by teachers around the globe, and you can. And these are best part is these are open source and free to use. So you can use all of these activities in your classrooms. Just Google whatever topic you are teaching, and I'm sure you will find very interesting simulations. All you have to do is just type GeoGebra with your topic and you will find interesting simulations online. Okay, so this is one tool to really visualize and bring your classrooms alive. It will help you as well in thinking of new ways to teach math, and it will help your students as well to visualize maths in a whole new way. I have actually created two activities. One was for straight lines, but since you guys are not comfortable with grade 9 math, I'll show you another activity, which is a hands-on activity. I'll just ping this link on the chat box so that you can open it as well on your end. And you can actually do this activity along with me. Okay. Okay. So you can share this link with your student and it gives instructions of what is to be done. It says use the line tool to construct two lines that intersect. So this is the line tool and you construct two lines. I construct two lines and these two lines are intersecting. Next, it says use the intersect tool to plot the point at which these two lines intersect. So I will use the intersect tool. This one is the intersect tool. And I will use this tool to find the point where it's intersecting. Then it says use the angle tool to measure any two angles that are not adjacent. So which two angles are not adjacent? So CEB and AED are not adjacent, right? They're vertically opposite. So I'll just click on the angle tool and mark this angle. So I've got this angle and I want this one angle as well. So your students can easily do this activity in the class themselves following your instructions. Now, once this is done, it says, after completing, select the move tool, move any one of the four blue points. What do you notice? So if I move any one of the four blue points, what is happening? You can ask the students in the classroom. Move any point and observe what is happening to the angles. So no matter how I move the lines, these two angles remain the same, right? 88.43, 88.43, and 83.78, 83.78. So this will give an idea to the students that vertically opposite angles are equal. They can even write their answer here. Vertically opposite angles are equal. You will get to know their answers in real time as well. How that is done, I'll tell you. But this is a cool way of designing hands-on activities for your classroom. If actually designing these activities is difficult, as I said, just Google what your requirement and you will find millions and millions of activities created by teachers across the globe, which you can freely use in your classroom. All you have to do is just share this link with your students and they can do this activity with you alongside in the classroom. How do you, if you want to go one step ahead with Geogebra, you can create a lesson. What this does is it creates a lesson from any resource and you can share this link with the students and then you can review their work in real time. This is a very, very amazing tool to explore. I don't think a lot of teachers are using it right now, but it helps you first make your classroom come alive with these interactive activities. And then it also helps you get or capture student responses real time. So for example, in this activity, if students write that vertically opposite angles are equal, you will be able to know which students have been able to get it right or which students have not. So let's say if I create this lesson, I'll just show you how it's done. So as soon as students start joining this link, it will be shown here, the number of students who have joined. And then I will also know how many of the students have answered first task, how many have done the second task, and what are their responses. So this is another interesting tool that you can explore, and I really recommend GeoGebra to all of the teachers present in the classroom and also to the students. But it might be a little difficult for the students to use. Okay, I'll just quickly check the answer questions. Ma'am, please illustrate the basic concept of GeoGebra. Okay. Okay, so I think I'll answer all of these questions at the end. I'll definitely not leave out any of your questions, but I hope you were able to visualize your changed classrooms now, and you will be able to change the way you have been treating classrooms so far. Okay, is my screen still shared, or do I need to share it again?
You need to share it again, ma'am.
Okay. You were able to see all that I was showing so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll show you the next tool now, which is Polypad by 𝐕𝐢𝐫. That is also an amazing tool to use in classroom. So this is the tool. The link is 𝐕𝐢𝐫.org/polypad. Okay, a heads up, all of these tools are open source. They're free to use. You can use them in your classroom without any legal issues. And all you have to just do is type this link in your address bar, 𝐕𝐢𝐫.org/polypad. Okay. So it has a lot of tools which you can show in your classroom, and it is basically a whiteboard. Whiteboard as in you choose the pen, use your Wacom pen and write. Okay, just write whatever you want, but I'll just show you how you can use it in your classroom. Let me erase this. Okay, let me show you a few tools. So it has geometry tools, all of these figures. Let's say I want a square and I want to draw something along the square. I want to embed a triangle on the top, or maybe I want to just label it A, B, C, D, whatever. You have a lot of polygons with you. So you can use your pen along with all these tools. Then you have shapes, diagrams, Penrose styles. These might not be very useful for regular Indian curriculum, but yeah, if you design activity for students apart from the curriculum, or you are into interactive math, then this is a must-have tool. Then you have solids as well. So you can have cube. Yeah, all of these are fun to explore. You have a ruler and protractor as well, which can be used for constructions. Just show you some interesting tools. Let me delete this. Yeah, so we have number tiles, fractions. So you can show fractional bars in classroom as well. Fraction circles. That this is half circle. This is 1/4, and you can rotate this as well. And 1/5. Make this 1/8. Yeah, so you can explore these tools to show in the classroom. And then you have algebra. I have used algebra tools a lot for higher grades. Lower grades you can explore. Most of the teachers of lower grades use 𝐕𝐢𝐫 for a lot of activities in classroom, but I'll show you what I do. So for algebra tiles, let's say you want to show what is the factorization of something as x² plus 2x, let's say. So for x², I would need a x² tile. This is the x² tile. For 2x, I would need 2x tiles. And now to factor it, I will try to create a rectangle out of it. So this is how I have created a rectangle. So now just measure the length and breadth of this rectangle. The length is what? This is x. This is, okay, so there is another way of measuring. So to measure the length, what you have to do is the breadth, this is the length. Paste another rectangle, measure the length. So this is 1 unit. This is x units. And this is 1 unit again. So the length is x plus 2. Length is x plus 2. And what is the breadth? Breadth is x itself. I can show it to the student that the breadth is x. So the factorization of x squared plus 2x would be x into x plus 2. Yeah. So I'm using this board to just visualize algebra. This is one way. What else you can do is work with balance in algebra. So you have a balance scale as well. So let's say I want some variables, let's say 3 or 4 is equal to, I have number tiles as well. Yeah, so let's say I want to say this is 30. And I'll say that balance this out. So I'm saying 4 of these is equal to 32. So I want the students to explore what will one of these would be. Have another balance. And have this. It'll go down. And I want students to balance this scale. So I will ask what number tile should I use. So if I use 2, it's not getting balanced. If I use 3, it's not. If I use 7, then it's not, right? If I use 12, it goes down. That means 12 is greater. It's still not balanced. If I use 8, then it is balanced. And then I can discuss with the students that, 4x is equal to 3x. This means 4x is equal to 32. So this implies x will be equal to 8. So one of these measures 8. And you can really play around with this balance and give students activities to be done in classroom. You have probability tools as well in Math Polypad. I'm deleting this. Probability tools, like you have dice and you can spin the dice also. You can spin 2 dice at random together. Yeah, and you can show it to the students. Or you can spin a wheel and ask the students what would the probability be. And you can actually ask students to, record their values in a table. So you have tables as well. You can say dice 1, dice 2. And I'm just rotating this, and in dice 1, I have got 1, dice 2, 6. And you can ask students to just record their observations and see what the probability is coming out to be. So all of these tools are there. Some more tools are number line coordinate system. I'll just show that as well. Okay, let's see number line. Then you have number line. You can increase or decrease the divisions or the number of, you can just work out with this. And you can show it to the students that if I add 4 plus 5, then what will it be? So I just go from 0 to 4 and then I add 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I get 9. Yeah, so you can show this in the classroom. So the fun part is that you can use all of these tools along with your pen and it will be seamless. Your class will be very interesting. And even students can themselves explore this. It's very, very user friendly and it's not at all confusing. I have a clock as well, which I have used. There's a live clock, which gives you the real time thing, and you have a free moving clock. So you can actually use this free moving clock to change the hands, measure the angles. Let's say you want to measure what is this angle, and you ask the students, how can we do it? You can actually construct along this clock and show. I know there are a lot of questions on clocks, and these tools really come handy. So this is a one-stop place to explore all of these. Okay, so I've been able to tell you only 2 tools so far, but I think these are most of it. And yeah, I've shown you how to use interactive modules on Geogebra and hands-on activities on Polypad. Okay, this is left, but we are left with a very less time, so I'll try to wrap it up quickly. How to take effective notes. So for students, we are in a habit of writing in our notebooks, but right now all of the PDFs that we get notes that we get are in PDF format. So what you can do is nowadays the laptops have Microsoft Edge pre-installed. This is Microsoft Edge. You open whatever PDF that you want to. So let's say I want to open straight lines. It'll open it in Microsoft Edge and there is an option to annotate. This is the draw option. So you can use your pen and actually underline or show in the notebook itself what is it, and show it to the students. You can show it to the students and the students themselves can mark answers or see that if they've understood it, like if they haven't understood it, they can mark it, and you can actually use it like a normal notebook only and then save it. You can save it, and the next time when you open this PDF again, it will show all of these markings. You will know where you have to pick up from, and yeah, it's just like you have been using your normal notebooks so far. Okay.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. I guess like now we can take on the questions as well.
Yeah,
in the comment section.
Yeah. So I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. Like, let me go through the questions. Okay. I'll start from the beginning. Answer this. I'm a middle school teacher. I face problem of children not paying attention as offline classes. What do you suggest? So, ma'am, the best thing that you should do for middle school children is include as many activities as you can. It is very, very important that you show them, not write, just write, but show them colorful images and visuals and ask them questions. So not just ask questions in a didactic manner, but ask questions which they have to actually answer and give you the answer. So you don't move ahead in the classroom unless they answer it. Then I showed you a Geogebra create lesson tool that you can use, or you can use, if you're taking classes on Zoom, you can use the poll feature, or you can actually create beforehand, you can create Google Classrooms and ask students questions in real time. That is very important for students to pay attention in classroom. What type of TLMs, teacher learning materials, should I use for maths class? So just have your concepts ready, what you want to teach. After that, you can Google what, as I said, there are a lot of simulations available on GeoGebra already. Use those materials, show them in the classroom, and then take your classroom ahead. Design the activities beforehand and share it with the students so that they are also aware what they are going to learn. There is no harm in students having a knowledge of the activities beforehand, and then you can take it up in the classroom real time. How to teach maths theorem through Wacom PenTab. Maths theorem, just as you teach in a normal blackboard, PenTab will help you write on the whiteboard itself. And to show the visual effects of math theorem, I think if you are talking about higher grade theorems, which is grade 9 and above, I would definitely recommend you to use GeoGebra. So for example, if you want to teach them the theorem on let's say angles made in the same segment of a circle are half of whatever, like if you want to show the circle theorems, create a simulation or search for a simulation on GeoGebra. It will show you how that theorem holds true for any circle, any figure, and that way you can actually, instead of giving them a rote learning proof, you can give them a visual proof which they will remember lifelong. So theorems can be
Can you
taught that way.
show to the audience a Wacom tab right now so they can get an idea which is the tool that you're usually using?
Yeah, so this is the Wacom tab. It is one by Wacom, and it is, I think, 6.8 inches. And so it has sensors, and it works exactly like a mouse. So I don't know. So if you put your pen close, the mouse moves, and yeah, it's fairly simple. I think I took like a day to get adjusted with this, but after that, I was able to, like, I have been using it on day-to-day basis. None of my lessons go without it. Okay, how do you create a balance between your personal and professional life? Okay, this is the out of scope. I am a mother of ninth grader and she isn't interested in math at all. Her teacher tells me that she can do well, but she doesn't want to. What can I do to gain her interest in the context of present person that is online? Okay, so especially for ninth graders and above, the problem is that maths is not taught with the reasonings, and students at this age start building their own opinions about subjects. They start building their own opinions about the way things are given to them on platter or the way things are taught to them, and they start questioning. So that is the main reason why students become disinterested in math, because the way it is taught in the classrooms right now is a lot more like question um, based, and you just have to give the answers. The reasoning behind it, how we are going to use it in life, and how it is helping you build your cognitive abilities is not at all taught to the students. So, ma'am, you should look for a teacher who actually gives your ninth grader student a perspective towards mathematics that is beyond what is taught in classrooms. You have to give her a outlook, and you have to give her some scope of how maths is actually a thing to be discussed rather than a thing to just pass exams. More than just passing exams after 12th, maths is useful for life. So if some teacher can actually give her the whys I think she will be interested. How can I stop my student from using other entertaining apps? Okay, this is out of scope. I am an average kid in studies, but I think online classes are boring. So I'm scoring very less. What to do? Um, yeah, I understand that you are finding classes boring. Whatever concept that you think is boring, just Google what are the interesting ways to study this. I'm sure you will find zillion of things, and immediately you will be interested in that topic, and you will start thinking that what all that I have been learning so far is something I should really explore. So the best way to become better at math is taking interest in it. So don't think about that, this will not come in exam or this is not something that I've been taught. Trust me, that is not going to help. Just go ahead, explore what is there online, and you will find millions of ways to get yourself interested in online classes. Are quizzes between classes a good option for my students? Definitely, definitely. So I wanted to show another tool called Kahoot, but since we are out of time, so Kahoot is an online platform for taking quizzes. And quizzing in classroom is the best way to have students involved in their classrooms, and it tells the student real time what students are learning and what students are not learning. It tells the students how well their peers are doing, or what it gives them a feel of competition, which is absent in online classrooms, and I think it's very, very important. As a guardian of 17-year-old, how can I encourage her to study hard for boards, especially the classes being online? Okay. Uh, just see how well the classes are going on. For that, you will have to actually sit with her, sit with your son or daughter, uh, and see how the classes are being conducted. If in the classroom, the teacher is asking some question, is your student answering? Is your student able to follow the student? If that is not happening, first of all, it's very important to give feedback to your school, and secondly, you should try and look for help outside. Some coaching or some place, or maybe like a offline online classroom which is not live, will also work as long as the student is interacting. So make sure that when your student is studying, there is some kind of interaction with the computer going on. Either your student is answering, or your student is writing, or your student is submitting something. If he's just listening to something sitting in front of the laptop, I'm sure that is not going to help. So instead of asking your student to study hard, I think you should take a step and sit with your student and see how the classes are going on. As a senior school teacher, what can I do differently to engage my students better? Ma'am, senior school students really need to have an outlook and visual ways of learning. Try to incorporate that, and try to bring out activities that are more that involve groups, and activities that involve something hands-on, something that students have to do with their hands in the classroom, something that involves all of their senses, eyes, ears, and their mouth as well. So something that involves all of their senses, design those kind of activities that will help them. In senior classes, that reduces to a great extent. It's very difficult to actually design activities in that ways, but it's very, very important to involve all of students' senses. How can you draw geometric shapes with Wacom? Okay. To draw geometric shapes with Wacom, it works just like a mouse. So you can explore using Wacom with PowerPoint, and you will find ways to draw geometric shapes with Wacom. I haven't been able to touch in this session, but maybe if we have another session, I'll show that. Are these tools paid? No, these are free to use tools, not paid. How different is it from regular Zoom tools? I don't see so many features there. Different? What is different? I don't understand this. Who has asked this? Yukti, if you can tell me what you are referring to, then I'll be able to answer. Sarthak, have I left out any question?
No, ma'am. I guess all the questions have been very well covered. And I
Okay.
guess what Yukti meant in this thing is that she's asking the tools that you talked about. How are they more different from Zoom tools? Because Zoom also provides some basic tools to work with as well, which are
Yes.
just basic whiteboard and everything, and not much.
Okay, so I think this was asked long back before I actually demonstrated, so I think that must be clear by now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much. I hope you learned at least something and you are taking away something from the session. I don't know how much of help it was, but let's see. So I have another poll. Can we run that?
Yeah,
Sarthak?
sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just want to know which of the tools would you be definitely using after this session? GeoGebra, Polypad, or the tools to type math? Okay. So GeoGebra is something that you should really dive into. Start with Googling and using the already created activities by the teachers. Once you start using those activities, you will automatically learn how to create them. It's not that difficult, but requires some level of math knowledge, some high level of math knowledge. But yeah, just Google first, use the existing activities, and I think it will open a lot of ways.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems that most people like GeoGebra too
Yeah.
only.
Great. Great. Okay. Cool.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you,
So,
Sarthak.
yeah, so that was actually a very insightful session, and we got to learn so much about different kind of tools that teachers could use, and it actually makes their work easier, making things in a much visual medium to present to the students. So
Yeah.
really, thank you so much for imparting your knowledge on all of us. We would also like to thank Wacom for supporting us. I request the attendees of this event to check out the amazing products by Wacom on their official website, wacom.com, and their Insta page, Wacom India. Also, don't forget to check out Youth website, youth.in, and our Insta page @YouthMag for latest events, webinars, competition, and of course, our monthly issue of Youth magazine. And to connect with our today's mentor, I hope you can find them on Instagram as well. So thank you once again, ma'am. Hope you and all the attendees that came to our event today have a lovely day and week ahead. Again, thank you so much for coming here. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Sarthak. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.